Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm a tiny bit early, but I was sitting here and I just couldn't wait anymore. I am really excited for tonight's unboxing. It is something, well, if you watched my last Dive into Dyeing unboxing, you'll know that this is something that I've been waiting for a really long time. And so I've not seen level 2 in person yet, and so I am so excited. And actually, this one, rather being like packaged directly for me for the launch, it should be as completely as the customer receives it. So I am very excited and yay! Oh yay! So if you don't know me, I am Rebecca from KnitCrate, and here on this YouTube channel, I love to dye yarn. I love to explore different techniques, dye types, and fiber content. And I was really thrilled when KnitCrate reached out to me back in 2019 to work with them on this Learn to Dye subscription box. So tonight we're going to be doing 3 unboxings. The Dive into Dyeing Level 2, which I'll talk more about in a moment, and then the KnitCrate and SockCrate kits. These are all available through KnitCrate's website. Now, I am a KnitCrate affiliate, which means that I earn commissions if you use my coupon code or if you use my links, which are in the description, and I'll pop in the chat occasionally. So I am compensated for that. I am also an affiliate marketer with Dyer Supplier, which is the Bare Yarn sister company to KnitCrate, run by the same team. And so the Dive into Dyeing course is available on KnitCrate. It's actually sold out right now, but it's available through KnitCrate's website. I do have a coupon code ChemKnits20. New KnitCrate customers can save 20% off their first month. And yeah, I think that is my disclosures. But so yeah, KnitCrate does send me all of these for free. And yeah, I'm compensated with the affiliate links, and the coupon code is an affiliate code. So I also get compensated. And then I was, I was paid for the work that went into Dive into Dyeing. So yeah, that's, I guess, my disclosures there. Hello everyone. Oh, it is my absolute pleasure. I love sharing all these tutorials. And oh, okay, so what is Dive into Dyeing? Dive into Dyeing is a 3-month subscription, which gives you colors that were picked by me and the KnitCrate team, and some bare yarn and some tutorials to get you started dyeing yarn with acid dyes. And it's a lot of fun. I'm blanking now, I think 15 videos for the Dyer Supplier YouTube channel. Those are all available there now for the public. So you can actually go watch the videos before deciding if you're ready to dive on in to the dyeing. I made a playlist that I have on my channel. If you have questions, I don't automatically see questions on the channel because I don't have control over like the behind the scenes, so I don't get notifications from that. But yeah, if you have a question about one of them, you can always drop a comment on one of my videos, and then I'll see that and I can go check. Oh, I'll re-show level 1. I have it right here. So this subscription is $39.99 a month. So each box is $39.99, and in each of them you get 2 skeins, 2 100-gram skeins of bare yarn. It varies based on the box. 3 half-ounce jars of jacquard acid dyes, a full written tutorial in a little booklet. This is the level 1 booklet that goes along with the video, and there's formulas, there are screen grabs from the video to give step-by-step instructions. And the KnitCrate team did an amazing job taking my videos and converting it into like a really in-depth tutorial with tips and tricks that really pairs with the video. So you can watch the video, and I mean, you can go back and pause and watch parts over again, but then you also have exactly what I did written down, which I think is awesome. So, all right, let's open up level 2. and I can talk about more what's in it. So I think I mentioned already, it is currently sold out. This is an evergreen product, which means that KnitCrate will be getting everything together they need to put it back in stock. They don't want, obviously, they don't want to sell any that they don't have the components to ship. And so it will be coming back. The intent is for this to be a permanent product that they have available. All right. Da, 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 da. Oh, and let's talk about the cute little Dyer Supplier by KnitCrate box. That was a big surprise when I opened up the first one. All right. Ooh. Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't seen the squeeze bottles yet. Oh, these are cute. Okay. And look, the little gloves are periwinkle in this one. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. So, box 2, we have this looks small. Looks smaller than I'm used. So this is the 80/20 stock yarn. Which I actually believe is the one that I used in this video. But, oh, okay. I was like, wait, they look tiny to me, but no, it's the same size as the ones I dyed in the video. It's just packaged, and it was just compressed a bit in the sample bag. And I was like, wait a minute. Even though this is a project that I worked on, I will absolutely give my honest opinion. Okay, so the yarn is labeled with the fiber content, and it actually tells you exactly what the yarn is with the SKU and everything, so that way if you want to go and purchase more to play around with. So we have 200 grams of the Dyer Supplier 80/20 stock yarn. This is I think it's a 3-ply yarn. It plumps up really beautifully when you dye it, and I really enjoy this. And yes, okay, so we've got the yarn. This is the important thing. For acid dyes, you want a protein-based yarn. A lot of the tutorials I did, I think all of the boxes include superwash yarn, which is honestly a little, well, I guess it depends, but for speckles and other things, colors strike faster to superwash yarn, so I think it can be a little easier to start with. Yours had different yarn? Yes, I know that there were some, so Denise, yes, there's a waiting list. It had different yarn. There are some yarn substitutions, I know. The one thing that I've asked is that they not make color substitutions, because I know some people have planned like which other colors they want to buy based on what's included in the course. But there will be, I think, comparable yarn substitutions. So for like the first one, I dyed a worsted weight. I think there may have been a DK substitution. So in terms of dyeing, I've, asked that if they're going to substitute a stock yarn, have another like superwash merino nylon blend and things like that. Am I going to repeat the class? So there's no live class. These are pre-filmed videos that are on the Dyer Supplier YouTube channel. So they're available for anyone to watch at any time. You got sport weight in the first one? Okay. Because mine in the first one came and it didn't have a label. Which is when I was opening, I was like, there needs to be a label. So there's a label here. Okay, so also included in box 2, we've got our 200 grams of yarn. There are 2 squeeze bottles. And it looks like it's got like a little twist closure. I have not tried these squeeze bottles. So I haven't tested them, but I hope to actually test these out soon to see what I think. A lot of times the small squeeze bottles I use are leftovers from the tulip tie-dye kits and stuff. So yeah, but these are a fairly reasonable size. Like for dye stocks, I would want something bigger, but for applying dye, it's, I think, a decent size. The box also comes with some wooden stir sticks, which are helpful if you're going to do any color mixing. They have 2 non-reusable zip ties. I personally really like the reusable ones, so I can use them over and over. But I think that it's really awesome that that these are in there. And actually, I believe Dyer Supplier actually includes these in a lot of their orders now. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with me, but it's really, really handy as an extra tie. I see some questions. You got a 2-ply sock yarn. Oh, fun. I don't think I've dyed their 2-ply one yet. I really hope they have sparkle sock in the third box. It's supposed to be a sparkly sock. If it's not silvery sock, I have requested that it still be a sparkle sock. So, because that's like what I filmed with and what I was talking about. Because if it wasn't a sparkle sock yarn, I would have done a technique a little differently. So you got the 3-ply 80/20. They were out when you tried to get in. Yes. So I have not checked on the restock recently, but I have a feeling that honestly dye could be a limiting factor. And so the 3 colors that come in box 2 are Aztec Gold, which is a very like mustardy, it's a very sort of like yellow, but it's great for mixing some more muted colors versus using the bright, what was it? It's bright yellow. I always mix up bright yellow and brilliant blue. The second color is Chestnut, which the label makes you think that it'll be more of a brown, but it's actually a really beautiful sort of deep red, which again, these are not primaries, they're not secondaries, but they're sort of muted versions of a red, yellow, and blue that will help it when you go for mixing. And then the last one is Gunmetal, which is not, it's close to like a navy. It's a very deep blue. I think I've had this behave really strangely once, but I don't know what caused that. So in general, I find that it I've been happy with the performance of all of these colors. The 6 colors that I personally really fought for were the 3 in the first box and the last box. Those are the 6 colors that are probably if you're only going to get 6 colors, those are the 6 to get. So box 1, which actually I have right here, box 1 comes with 3 primaries. So you get brilliant blue, you get bright yellow, and then you get fire red. Now, each of these jars is a 1/2 ounce, which is about 14 grams. And so, of course, I should know what depth of shade did I use in the first, so that was the dye stock. What was my depth of shade? So I did do a 1% depth of shade. Okay, so this is a 1% depth of shade. This is 1 gram of dye per 100 grams of yarn. There is enough dye in this container to dye 14 skeins in this colorway. So there's a lot of dye in these kits. And so those were the colors in the first one. And the 3 colors that are going to be in level 3 are jet black, turquoise, and hot fuchsia. And so that hot fuchsia and turquoise give you the ability to do a yellow, cyan, magenta sort of color mixing window. And black is always important because coming from food coloring, black is the one color that you can't really do with food coloring. And so having a good black was really important. You ordered MCN from them and it came with zip ties? Yeah. Yeah, so some of my older orders didn't, but some of the more recent ones had a bunch of zip ties in there, which I thought was awesome. Yes, I'm only on, and yes, if I don't see your question right away, because they're not all popping up on the screen, I'm going to try to check. I've got my laptop here and check periodically. All right, so we've got the stirrers, the zip ties, the dye, the 3 jars of dye. We've got a pair of gloves, which are latex and powder free. I double checked on that. And then finally, the thing that makes this so amazing is the booklet. Now, I mean, I think my videos are pretty great as well, but it's really fun to see my videos that they turned them into little booklets, little magazines, and that's just so cool. Like when I knew they were this was not, when I started the project wasn't what I expected, and it's beyond what I expected. Like my yarn, a booklet. It's so cool. And so just so you can see what I'm talking about, and for example, there I am in the book. And then, you know, it tells you everything you need. It talks about dye safety. I have a whole video on Dyer Supplier about the dye safety. But then it goes step by step with screen grabs from the videos to take you through the whole process. They even give the recipes for the colors that I mixed on here. I actually took inspiration a uh, from a KnitCrate mood board that was around the time from when I filmed the video. And I'll show you this colorway. But the goal was just to demonstrate a little bit of mixing and then a little bit of, let's see, trying to line this up as I've dyed it, a little bit of mixing. And then I wanted to show off different ways that you could apply the dye to the yarn on your countertop, followed by steaming. So I poured, I used a squeeze bottle, I used, I think, a syringe, I used a foam brush, I used a baster brush. I just went through all these different things to show that, you know, you might have a preference. Like, I like to use foam brushes a lot because I find I don't make a lot of mess and I really have control over where the color goes. But there's so many like ways about it that work. And so it's just fun. And I had a lot of fun dyeing this colorway. Greetings. Oh, thank you, Tyra. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, it's just been like the journey has been great. There are some downloadable extras with this box as well. And in here they have like some sample yarn labels that you can print and cut out so you can keep track of your colorways, and also some like sample yarn, like color swatch cards, just as an idea of how to keep track of your colors, especially if you want to do the minis are somewhere over there. There was a triangle exercise in level 1 that I filmed a video of on my channel, and so that's really happy. Will there be an advanced level that uses natural dyes like onion skins? No. Currently, and I can say the only thing that I have had in the works with them is just these 3 levels and those videos that I filmed. But and there's a little sneak peek for speckles. So someone asked about level 3 and speckles. And so the base that sort of the way this worked is, so I helped pick the colors and I worked with their creative director at the time, and we to like determine like which should go together for which box. But they had the bases that they wanted me to use, and I actually adore Silvery Sock. It is I think one of the most unique yarn bases that Dyer Supplier has, because I haven't seen anything like it anywhere else. It is 20% stellina. It is so sparkly, but when it comes to sparkles, there are problems when it comes to speckling yarn, because if you make your conditions too acidic, then you could dull the stellina. And so therefore, that's a reason why I did not demonstrate doing citric acid speckling for the video. We just speckled with straight powder, but it is really, really fun. Really fun. Yes, I love foam brushes too. And so I used all 3 colors from the 3rd box for this colorway that I did in the last one. But there's also bonus videos. So I did do, I believe, for dyeing this skein, I used citric acid with maybe spruce. So Dyer Supplier has a lot of the Jacquard acid dye colors on their website. I haven't checked to see what's in stock and what isn't in stock right now, but that's worth checking out, especially if you want to reorder more yarn. But anyway, let me see if I can make this look pretty. Last time I managed to get like a major, like awesome little picture of just not quite, but maybe I'll post like this at the end. So level 2 is here, and I'm just really excited. So again, this course is $39.99 a box. It comes with everything that you have here. Box 1 also does come with a pouch of citric acid. I'm not sure how many grams, and hopefully it's labeled now because it was unlabeled in the one that they sent me. But my level 1 was sent like before this was available, so someone just packed it up like special for me. And this one came through like the warehouse in the way that it normally would be packed. And so level 3 also comes with gloves, zip ties, and some more stirrers. Even though you don't really need the stirrers for the speckles, it still includes them, which I think is fine. You could use them for something else. And then there's also a third booklet with level 3. Now, the big things this course does not come with are your respirator mask, your safety glasses, and dedicated dye tools and equipment. When using commercial dyes, you want to make sure that you're using pots and pans that you only use for dyeing yarn. A great place to go is secondhand shops, but I also, with a good coupon at Bed Bath & Beyond, that's where I have a blog post that goes through my favorite tools and equipment. My multi-pot from, I think it's Salt brand that I got at Bed Bath & Beyond. I have both an 8 and 12 quart versions of the same pot. And then I also use these catering steam pans that I like because they're huge and you can really spread out the yarn in them. But take some of these tutorials with a grain of salt. So for the speckling one, I use the catering steam pan because that's what I like to use. But you could also speckle in a small pot. You just might need to move the yarn around a little bit more. So you don't have to have like both a steamer, like the steamer pot and the chafer pan. You could kettle dye in the chafer, like the catering pan. That works as well. But the big one, make sure you have a good respirator mask. I use one with a rubber respirator with P100 filters. I have a blog post on my website, chemknits.com, that goes through other recommendations from indie dyers for other brands of masks, since the one that I use from Dharma Training Company has been sold out for a while. So I would never use dye powders without having a mask on. And the kind of masks I shared a beautiful fake tie-dye cloth mask on my Instagram stories today that I was wearing to go pick my son up from school, and I would not wear that for dyeing yarn. That's not going to protect you if in the event of like a spill. You don't want to inhale any dye powders. So please, please, please make sure you have some kind of particle respirator. Oh, it wasn't labeled? Oh, bummer. Yes, so Patty, I think they created the shipping labels at the very beginning of the month and then they didn't actually package and ship until later in the month. This is not from any communication I've had with the company, because I also got my shipping notification really early in the month and then there was no update to the tracking data. So I think the shipping notification comes once they create the shipping label, but that doesn't mean that it has actually been shipped. And so I actually had been saving unboxing my KnitCrates, which I am now about to do. So I need to remind myself. Can I do a comment? 25 KnitCrate unboxing. Okay, comment on my video. Yeah, I was waiting. These arrived really early and I thought that the Dive Into Dyeing was going to arrive any day now, so I was sort of waiting. But my Dive Into Dyeing arrived yesterday. So KnitCrate ships internationally. I'm not sure if there are restrictions on the companies that they ship to. So if you're curious if they go to your area, reach out. But the $39.99 does include the cost of shipping. Okay. Do you guys have a vote for unboxing the September KnitCrate or Sock Crate first? Let me know in the chat. I think I can tell based on how they feel. This one feels lighter, so I think it's the Sock Crate. So vote in the chat, and I want to talk about one new thing about the KnitCrate subscription. So there is a change. We've been very familiar with these bright teal boxes, but they are moving to a more eco-friendly mailer bag. It is a cornstarch biodegradable bag, biodegradable mailer that they're using. Apparently, I guess it's waterproof, but it is compostable at the same time. And so that is going to be the default, that they will be shifting from the box with a this isn't Inspirations, but with the Inspirations magazine in the inside, and they're going to switch to the mailer with a recyclable like postcard insert, and then you can just download the digital version of the Inspirations magazine and the patterns. So the eco-friendly packaging will come at no additional cost. For October, they are automatically switching everyone over to the eco packaging. But if you want to keep the traditional packaging, it is slightly more expensive. So KnitCrate is $19.95 a month. If you want to keep the traditional packaging and have the magazine printed for you, it'll be $21.99. And the KnitCrate, which is $24.99 and will remain $24.99 with the eco-friendly packaging, it'll be $26.99, so $2 more to keep the traditional packaging with the magazine insert. And so what I don't know, one thing I can think of is that, and again, I don't know, but this will give them a little more flexibility when it comes to what they include in the package by using the eco-friendly packaging, because it means that they'll be able to easily keep the weight of each box under a pound. So in the US, there's really great shipping deals. I mean, I'm sure that they have some really bulk option, but for even small shippers like me, under a pound is not very expensive. As soon as you get over a pound, it gets a lot more expensive, and sort of bumps you up into priority shipping labels and is just more expensive. So it sort of probably limited the extras they put in. It limited their ability to, I mean, I have no idea if they're ever going to add a third skein. I would love if they would add a third skein occasionally, or like, you know, a mini for doing contrasting like toes and heels or something like that. I have no idea if they have plans to do that. So this is just me, you know, spitballing here. But I think having something that weighs less than the box not only uses less fuel when they, you know, for shipping and everything, but I think that it would allow them a little more flexibility with what they put in the package. If you choose to keep the traditional packaging, they will donate. In both cases, they're going to donate to offset the shipment's carbon footprint, is what they've said. And so when you go to, this is a crude way to show it, but when you go to sign up for KnitCrate, I'm not entirely sure how you change, but if you're going to go sign up today, you'll see an option for the packaging to pick, and it's clearly laid out. And you can, if you're a new KnitCrate customer, you can use the code ChemKnits20, which is in the description. I'll pop it in the chat as well, to save 20% off your first month. And the link I'm popping in goes into oh no, that's not it. Oh, bummer. Because I copied something else. Oh dear. The link I am putting in with code. The link I'm putting in goes to Dive Into Dyeing, the one I just popped in the chat. But the KnitCrates, it works for everything. I remember, let me check the email about planting a tree. That might be the donations that they're doing. Yes, they will be planting a tree for every eco-friendly subscription payment they receive. So yes, they are going to plant a tree for each, which to me sounds like every month that they'll plant a tree, which I think is awesome. I don't know if you guys know, and sometime I'll take a picture and share this. I had a little charity that it raised like less than $200 and for the amount of Saturday, but I had a little charity called Kids for Trees, raising money for trees when I was a kid. And I'm now realizing how inefficient I was when I realized, I'm like, that's all I raised from all those Saturdays selling lemonade. So to change from eco to box is the same as swapping colorways. So that is handy because I don't swap colorways. Oh wait, so did I see knit first? KnitCrate, oh, stock. Okay, I see more KnitCrates. So I think this is the KnitCrate one. So with the new eco-friendly packaging that is the default, it is $24.99 a month for 200 grams of yarn. Ooh, speaking of green. Oh, that's a green. Oh, oh, whoo. Oh. Okay, there's a little progress keeper that has this adorable little sun. I love it. It is a tiny little progress keeper. So unless you're working with really tiny needles, it won't work as a stitch marker necessarily, but it will, as a progress keeper, it's something that both knitters and crocheters can use. And this is Handmade with Love. Sammy Sue's Creations Etsy boutique. I think, I don't think this is the person who's done some of the recent ones, but this is adorable. And I'm a complete sucker for stitch markers right now. Oh, this green is beautiful. Okay, so I just saw the spoiler. So here is the Inspirations magazine. And the theme for this month is paradise. And so there are different color vibes. So you can pick if you like cool tones, warm tones, or more neutral tones. And looking here, and I should not be looking at the sock ones right now, but we've got our cool, warm, and neutral. And the yarn is 50%, ooh, it's 50% baby, oh. This is not what it says in there. Okay, so it's just, so I think that it's probably a typo in there. So the band says it's 55% fine merino wool, 30% baby alpaca, and then 15% mulberry silk. It does have a nice little sheen to it and looks fairly solid. Yes, it is looking, it's always hard to tell with silks. It's looking fairly solid to me versus being semi or atonal. And it's really, really cute. Ooh, I'm really excited. So I'll be honest right now, looking at this page, I'm much more excited to see which of the sock crates I got because those are variegated. And it's just because I feel like we've received a lot of like, and I could be misremembering, but it just feels like we've had a lot of solids recently through KnitCrate. Okay, so there's so Maya Luna Corazon joined them for the collaboration this time, and check out her crochet top. I have no idea if that is anything to do with what's included, but that is beautiful. Not that I wear crop tops, but that just looks so gorgeous. All right, let's see. So the colors for the membership yarns, and I'll focus just on KnitCrate right now, are Unwind, Bliss, and Utopia. And yeah, the fiber content here doesn't match up what I see on the ball band, but that is okay. Ooh, yes, the yarn in the socks is striping. Okay, so the patterns. Okay, so Maya Luna Corazon designed this Valentina. It looks like sort of like an arm warmer with this gorgeous little cuff. Oh no, it broke. Wait, your star glows in the dark? I have no idea if mine glows in the dark. And then there is a cheerful scarf and mitts pattern for the knitting pattern that goes with the KnitCrate. And it looks like it's got a fairly, like, it's a pretty basic cable. It looks like a very beginner-friendly cabled project. And there's charts available at digital download. So this might be the last month I actually have the Inspirations magazine because I'm probably gonna, I guess I'm automatically going to go to the eco-friendly packaging, and that's where I would stay, even though they're sending it for me for free. And my kids love these boxes as they save all them and they build things out of them. So we use them as like blocks, huge, like those huge cardboard blocks. So the boys will be very disappointed. But, you know, I think we've got a lot, so I think it's fine. Okay, so they say that for skill level, they say intermediate. I'm not good about that. But yes, if you're, I agree, purple, if your stitch marker broke, they should send a replacement. So one nice thing is the magazine, and then back when they used to have postcards, so I'm assuming the future postcards, there's a link at the beginning. You go there and you can download the Inspirations magazine to either your Ravelry library or directly to your computer. So then you can only print what you need when you need it. But the option to have it printed for you is nice if you don't have access to a printer or even like a computer that you use often. Oh my gosh. These are gorgeous. Check out those buttons. I love that it looks like there's two options that you can use button. I'm assuming that there's a button closure, or you can use, and this is just me looking at, you can either do buttons or you can close it with just the yarn in this kind of laced way. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. It's funny. This pattern really, really excites me. And there's also crochet charts in here. Oh, that's awesome. You know what I'm going to check? I forgot to check with the other, if there's enough yarn to do both the scarf. Okay, so there should be enough yarn to do both the scarf and the mitts for the knitting pattern. And as for the crochet, there is enough. So there's actually 5 sizes available of these like arm warmers, and I don't know if it says the yardage. So I think, okay, for everything except for an extra large size. Oh, there's enough yarn for all the sizes, because you need one skein for all the smaller sizes, and then the largest size you would use 2. So yay, size inclusivity and enough yarn for the project. That is something I always look out for. Okay. This color is so cool. All right. I don't know which color I want. All right. Before we open this up, this is not the way I usually do it, but let's check out these 3 colors. I try to avoid spoilers usually, but let's check out these 3 colors for the sock crate. Normally, the one I would probably buy if I was going and shopping would be this blue and green one. The purple one, it's funny, I'm knitting with a color very, very similar to that right now, but I think my personal first choice would be the blue and green. The second one would be this neon. The third, the purple, which is not the way I usually think. You read patterns straight from your phone. You're so used to it that it's awkward to read them from a book. Yeah, for the digital, exactly. So I think it's nice. I praised them when they started including written instructions in the boxes because people were asking for it. But some people didn't want it, and honestly, as someone showing it off, it was a lot easier for me to show a postcard. It used to come with like a postcard with the inspiration and information, and then another double-sided postcard that had the patterns. And so that was very easy for me to show, and a lot less of me like flipping through the magazine trying to figure things out. But let's see what color I got. So I mentioned that you can pick a color vibe of, I'm on Anything Goes. So what I get is a complete surprise. There is also All Natural, Chill Out, or Energize Me is the warm tone. Chill Out is cool, and I think All Natural is the neutral one. Okay. Wait, I can't see. I see the magazine. Oh well. Oh, I like this more in person. It's funny because they do have a reveal of the colorways, so you can go and change your color preference so you can get the one you want. But I think this is the first time I'm like, oh man, I got the purple. No, but this is really pretty. And I'm excited that it's a self-striping colorway. I'm really, really excited. It's been a while since there's been something self-striping. Ooh. And the fun extra is a little sock maker forever, cold feet never, little magnet. Now, I am always barefoot. I am not a sock knitter. Maybe, but I I do need to make Keith a pair of socks. I've been meaning to forever. I'm much more of like a lace knitter, and then I do a million hats. But I think that this is still really, really adorable. Okay. So the yarn. This is Block Sock in color Buoy. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I'm curious. It is a 4-ply. So this is not the same 80/20 that is in the Dive into Dyeing. But similar, similar. You knit socks, but you find with no carpet on the floors, you have a tendency to slip and skid around, which can be dangerous. Once on a pair of socks I made for Lucas, which he was so little, I put puffy paint on the bottom to try to make it grippy. Oh no, they were little booties that I knit for like, I put little like made little like dinosaur foot boots for him. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the patterns for here. So the patterns are Serendipitous Sock and then Puffy Socks. And so that those look so fun. And I think one thing that looks fun, and I'm gonna have to check, and I'm not coming into focus, but check out the toe of the sock and that little bit of striping that you see there. And then the little bit, it's not in focus, there's like a little bit of striping in between some of the other colors. It makes me think, I am not sure. But what I want to see, page 22. So the designer specifically tried to not match the socks. The two socks are entirely different. Show that the colors fall where they may. Don't overthink it. And I was just wondering. Okay, but wait. Divide the yarn in two. Okay, so that's what is causing the striping. You're taking the self-striping yarn, dividing it in two, or if you had a yarn cake, you could knit from both ends, and that is what's giving you these little stripings and sort of mixing them up a bit. I wasn't sure if I've dyed some sock yarn by doing very free-form stripes on a sock blank. When you unravel it, you can get some striping, but this is awesome. I am in love with this pattern as well, and is something that I just think is super, super fun and a really fun way to play with a self-striping yarn, to do something a little bit different. And it looks like in one of the socks, it lined up pretty well for most of the sock. And in the other one, it's a little more stripy, and serendipity is like how it came out. And so they're serendipitous socks. There's also a crochet pattern, which is called Puffy Socks. And this is what this looks like, which is very, very pretty. So as the KnitCrate or Sock Crate subscriber, you get access to all 4 patterns. Sometimes there are also some bonus patterns that you can download, which is just really, really cool. And so there is enough yarn to make either the knit or the crochet pattern. So I hope that makes sense, but I've given that spiel a bit. Actually, this goes really, really well with the yarn I dyed. Really, really well. Let me see. You're always barefoot. You can do little dots of chalk on the bottom to stop that. You had a friend. Oh, some more slipping sock suggestions in the chat. So it's a lot of fun, but wait, am I right? Nudes? How do you pronounce that? I guess I'm gonna have to close the chat window because how do you pronounce nope, I did not mean that. Nudes pronounce. Is it like nudes or nudes or nudes or how do I pronounce it? Nudesse. And Google is not helping me. It was like, how do you pronounce nudes? That's not what I want to pronounce. Oh gosh, YouTube, don't flag me. Oh, I need to pull the chat back up. That's why I can't see it. Because I closed the window. So when I turned volume on, I wouldn't be hearing myself talk. So I don't know how to pronounce it, but it does look like that we're going to be focusing on some very natural skin tones. We have like skin tone colored crayons here. We have a potter we've got some clay colors. So very like, I guess I'm expecting lots of like browns and taupes, and it looks like we've got some succulents in here, maybe some hints of pink. I think that it is a very, very pretty palette. You're pretty sure it's nudesse? Okay. Thank you. Because, yeah. I was like, that was also nudesse would kind of be my my guess, but I love the palette. It's very like, I mean, it's literally earthy when you're dealing with pottery. And so I think that that's really fun, and it would be really fun to dye along with that. Actually, speaking of dyeing, you can, if you are an indie dyer, you can actually dye along, get on Dyer Supplier's mailing list. You can dye colorways inspired by the KnitCrate mood boards on Dyer Supplier bases, and then they have a newsletter, and you can be you have a chance to be promoted in it and stuff. So I'm not entirely sure of the details. I don't dye enough quantity that I've ever tried that. So there is that. But oof. Oh, this is so fun. I love. Oh, you know what? I was like, oh, this is a progress keeper, or not like a stitch marker. You could totally use it as a stitch marker. This little hook thing that's used to attach it is totally a size to fit more of a stitch marker. So you could use just the whole thing like that. And that would work really, really well. Oof. I am getting old because my legs are like, you've been sitting oddly on the ground when, I mean, I sit on the ground all the time, but I think this is the first time when I'm like, oh no, my body is getting sore. What does that mean? But yeah, so lots of, oh, for the stitch marker, a different company. It's possible. I know that they work with a few different ones, and so there are a lot of KnitCrates, and so I am sure that it would be really, really hard for one indie like Etsy shop to make the quantity needed. So they might source from a few other makers, but it is fun that they're included in here. And sometimes, you know, oh, and I didn't even say, so members, KnitCrate members, SockCrate members, I don't know if this applies. I don't think it applies to Dive Into Dyeing members, but they can get discounts in the Member Central shop. So I think you get 50% off, if I'm not mistaken, of, let's just pick Eco. Come on, load the page. Oh dear. Anything goes. I wish, because I'm on my phone, I wish I could like screen grab. Oh, so the Anything Goes is sold out right now. Goodness, there should be waiting lists, I would think, for KnitCrates as well. Member Central. Oh yes, there is a waiting. No, the waiting list just popped up and I lost my member. Yes, you get 50% off the Member Central shop. So if you want to order any more of the colors, if you really wanted that neon colorway and changed your mind last minute, or you want two of them to make like knee-high socks, you can go to Member Central and save 50% off the retail pricing. You do pay shipping on your Member Central purchases unless you hit a threshold, but otherwise shipping is included on your KnitCrates. And actually, with that sort of combining self-striping yarn pattern, you could mix like a couple of them together. In that case, if you wanted to make longer socks, it wouldn't matter if you had a dye lot match because of the way that you're going about it. And so that pattern is like so perfect for a hand-dyed yarn. And so I am really, really, really excited about that pattern. Wow, there's two patterns I'm like super, super jazzed about in this one. I like a lot of the patterns that come with the KnitCrates. But every once in a while there's one like, like every couple of months there's one that I'm just like, I love it. And it's something that has me thinking like, okay, do I want to use the KnitCrate yarn? Do I want to use, I knit with a lot of yarn that I dye because I get a lot of requests, but also sometimes there's colorways I can't sell and because I love them too much. And so therefore I need to use them. So there is that. Yes, it means I need a pillow. Or it means I should try using, I have a pretty backdrop in my office upstairs, which is really, by office, I mean yarn storage room. But yeah, when the kids are going to bed, I cannot trust that they're going to be quiet or that they won't run through. And so that's why I am usually down here on the floor. Plus, like my light is in the other room, so it's nice and easy. But anyway, that was a lot of unboxing. If you've stuck with me this whole time, thank you so much. Please subscribe to the Kevin Knits Tutorials YouTube channel. I post new content every week, multiple videos a week. And so if you are excited to dive into dyeing, and again, this is the level 2 box. If you're excited to dive into dyeing and want to learn more about it, all of the videos that I filmed for this course are on Dyer Supplier's YouTube channel, but I do have a playlist on my channel, so you can find those videos and watch them as sort of a way to decide if you're ready to dive on in, or if you want to stick with food coloring for now. Dyer Supplier has some really nice bare yarn. They have a lot of bases I really like. The marled sock yarn and the silvery sock are two of my favorites. But I also really enjoy the 3-ply 80-20 and 75-25 sock yarn. I don't think they've had a base that I haven't liked. But yeah, those are some of the ones that I've used the most. And I'm excited to use some of them more. Because of this project, I had some and I was like saving them in case like I needed to refilm everything. So I wasn't, even though I really liked the bases, I wasn't using the rest of what I had. Now I can use the rest of what I have. So I'm really excited. Yeah, code KNITS20 for 20% off your first month, which I believe only works for new KnitCrate customers. But yeah, I mean, you may as well try it. You never know. Any spoilers for tomorrow's video? No, because right now I don't remember what it is, even though I just finished editing it last week and I scheduled it. School started for the kids, and so I am all over the place. Like, yesterday I put Ryder's water bottle. I've been getting their backpacks ready the night before. Lucas is remote Wednesday through Friday. So I had Ryder's water bottle. I filled it up and put it in the backpack, but I guess I put it in Lucas's backpack. So I sent my poor child to school with no water, which, I mean, he was given water. So they got him a cup and it was fine. But I was very, very sad when I realized, and it was the first day I had picked him up that was not the best day ever because he was very upset and stressed that his water bottle was lost when thankfully we found it in his brother's backpack when we got home. So yeah, I'm like, well, at least it was not his teacher's fault. It was my fault. But tomorrow is the first day that they both have full virtual school at the same time. And good news, the schedules are like when one has break, the other has a Zoom. So it's very opposite. So I'm not trying to log them both into Zoom at the exact same time, but I will have no break from like 8 o'clock until like 12:30. So I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be okay. Like Lucas can do most of it all by himself. So it's going pretty well, but I'm nervous. Very, very nervous. So yeah, no spoilers for tomorrow's video. Which one is it? Because I can't remember. Oh, okay. I'll give one spoiler. It's roving. It's roving. It's a really, really fun one too. I couldn't remember which one came out. Right now, it's like, which one was on Tuesday and which one's on Friday. I still have to get videos ready for next week. I think I have some buffer videos for just this kind of situation. I decided to, at the beginning of the summer, I have some videos that I edited and then I just, have them ready in case like I get behind. But I'm confident that I'll be able to keep 2 videos up a week during the fall. It's just, this was Lucas's first week of school, so it's wild. Hopefully, like, by like early October, we should start to get into a rhythm as a family. Yeah, so since Ryder's still in pre-K, he's still at private school, and so he has 4 days a week, which is great. Lucas has 2 mornings, but he is such an enthusiastic student that yeah, it's a little over enthusiastic at times. Like I showed him Seesaw, and I showed him that like he can take a picture of his work to share it with his teacher, and he's like, I want to take more pictures and share more things. And I'm like, let's technically we're trying this out and we haven't been directed to yet, so let's step back. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna head out and go and get ready for tomorrow. How young were my sons when I had them start dyeing with Kool-Aid? That's a great question. Lucas probably was 3 when he did his first video with me. I would say around 3. Ryder was technically 1. He was almost 2. It was right before his 2nd birthday. But I gave him it was sort of like a bingo dauber kind of thing. And so, yeah, it was, it worked pretty well. So Lucas is in more videos because he's more interested in participating. Ryder, this is the thing, if I sort of give them the choice to opt out, and if they don't want to do it, then they don't do it. And there were many times with Ryder and he's like, yeah, let's dye yarn. And I'd set up, we'd start filming, and he's like, no, mommy, no yarn. And so I'm like, all right, I guess we're not. But yeah, Lucas really enjoys it. Yeah, I will say I was very impressed compared to what we had remote last year. I've been very impressed with what the public schools have done with the remote options for this year. And Lucas's first grade teacher, her Zoom skills are fantastic in the way of keeping them engaged and realizing they're very small groups. I think, it's maybe 10 kids total on the Zoom because they've split the class in half. And so, yeah, I've been very, very impressed with when she notices them wiggling, then she does they incorporating movement into the lessons. And not that it's lessons yet this early in the year for first grade. It's all about routine learning. So we'll see. But yeah, high school teacher and a kid. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. This is impossibly hard for the teachers. It's impossibly hard for students and parents. I just know, I know my boys will be okay. And so it's just, it's so far, I'm optimistic. We'll see how I feel in a month. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing with my joy and rambling. Dive into dyeing. So excited. And I mean, it's me. Oh, for, a picture I took of myself. All right. Yes, leaps and pounds above last year. All right, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I will drop the links in the chat. Nope, I will not drop the links in the chat one more time because that's not what's in my clipboard. What's in my clipboard is this video. So never mind. Links are in the video description. And good night, everyone. Bye.